strange scenes to show you from Denver International Airport. Over the last month, we have seen passenger traffic fall by 95%. It's turned one of the nation's busiest airports into a ghost town. The parking lots are so empty that on May 11th, the shuttle lots are going to be closed. Inside, it is something that would be really hard to imagine just a few months ago. The Great Hall nearly deserted in the middle of the day. Only a couple of TSA workers standing by waiting for someone to go through security. Nationwide, TSA says about 90 to 100,000 passengers are flying in the entire country each day. So it is quite the scene out there. Also, we have more images to share. People are not leaving, but they're also not arriving. The baggage claim in the middle of the day also deserted. DIA says about 1,000 of their 1,600 flights each day have been canceled, and travelers are just waiting and wondering when that'll change. United has taped over the windows and key areas of their planes safety measures in some ways to protect parts of those aircraft from the elements and from severe weather. It is spring after all. Engines have also been taped up and covered along with the wheels.